Peace to all Israel, home and abroad, and all the world that subscribes to the philosophies of the world, right? What I want to talk about is people that say, I'm talking off the top of the dome. But I'm not talking off the top of the dome. I'm talking off the inspiration of the philosophies that I've studied. The Bible, the Quran, the Gnostic Bible, the Gnostic scriptures. Even reading the cuneiform tablets. This is what I draw inspiration from as I speak to people that watch my videos. I don't just say stuff that I feel or my opinion. My opinion is shaped by these books that I've read. So you can't tell me I'm going off. Why? Because did Christ go and quote from Deuteronomy and Exodus and Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah? Or did he say, I came to fulfill that which was written of me? We got to fulfill what is written of us. We got to fulfill what is our job. We have to have hope for the future for our next generations. We can't sit here and say, oh, well, I'm going to go get a job so I can pay my priest fund. We can't say I'm going to get an education to be part of something that is already degrading to our own people. See, too many times we always sit and we think that we're doing the right thing. But are we? That's what we got to start asking ourselves. Is it in the next 10, 20 years, is the 1-year-old that is being born, the child that's being born, is he in 20 years going to see a different world? Is he going to have his own people around him where he could buy and sell with his own people? Is he going to learn how to grow? Is he going to grow vegetables and different things like that where he doesn't have to use the money of America? Sometimes we always out to punish and bash those that we don't understand instead of trying to understand what they're trying to tell us. This is all facts. We listen to our own leaders, our own people that are set up by the Most High to guide us in the way of the righteous. But then we see somebody that is trying to do it on their own, but they still study and they still trying to give out their own teachings that they've gotten from the Most High by being diligent, by being humble, by ever seeking the Most High. But we shun those people because we think we know. I listen to every leader. I ask every question. I ask anybody, what do you mean by that? Where did you get that? How do I learn that? How do I understand that? Don't come and tell me that we have to make it in this world when this world hasn't shown us any type of love yet. Don't tell me that kids that are younger than me or from my generation didn't keep up what's going on from Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Dick Gregory, Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, even the Commandment Keepers, Abba Bivens, even the Kemetic sciences teachers, the 5%er teachers. Don't tell me we didn't keep that stuff going. Y'all didn't keep it going. Those that are in their 50s and 40s. You didn't keep it going. You thought everything was good. You thought you made it into the American dream. Then in 2016, 17, you realize, oh shit, we didn't make it nowhere. This is what Christ was saying when he said, leave your house, forsaking your mother, your father, your son, your brother, all forsake it all because it's all wicked. Why do you want it? Those that subscribe to the world that is wicked, you don't need them. You need to follow the light, the way. But every day you sit and those that battle against those that want an education from their oppressor, so that they can be somebody in the oppressor's world. Go perform so that they could tell the oppressor, yes, I am your slave. I work for you. We play basketball to be entertainers for you. This is the type of world we live in. This is the type of stuff people say. But we don't get it. We don't understand it. We don't see it. We don't pay attention to it. We don't have any thoughts of our own. But those that have thoughts of their own, that's trying to make it on their own through the power of being righteous, they're deemed as evil or excuse makers. Instead of you supporting them, because they're the visionaries. They're the people that's going to take you to the next level, where you can say, yes, we have a new Black Wall Street. Yes, we have our own police stations, our own hospitals, our own doctors, our own lawyers. These are the visionaries that say these things. We don't need anybody to say something for us. We don't need anybody to help us in the long run. Because you know what? Egypt didn't need them. Samaria didn't need them. India didn't need them. China didn't need them. Iran didn't need them. Africa didn't need them. Egypt didn't need them. Ethiopia didn't need them. Timbuktu, all of the Ivory Coast, the west of Africa didn't need them. All those that built up America before these so-called white people came to America didn't need them. They had thriving civilizations until those that was boggled down by war decided to take over the world, take over our planet, take over our world. I don't need to be from Israel. I don't need to be from America. I don't need to be from Africa when we all live on this one planet. This is what people lack. This is what people don't want to be. A person of the earth. Everybody want to be. I'm an Israelite. I'm from this place. I'm from that place. I'm this. Stop thinking like that. Think higher. A lot of Israel now is, I want to be the new leader of the world. I want to control the world. Instead of saying, you know what? We don't control the world. We guide the world. We're leaders. We're not bosses. We're not the government. This is stuff that hinders us, that boggles down the mind to where you become your oppressor without even realizing you're trying to be like him. Instead of being a leader to guide people back to the Father. We don't need no government. You need a government? The government evolved from kingship, president and his caucus, or the Congress, then the Senate. That's the king and then his army. And then the people, the nobles. It's the same shit. The same exact shit. Different names. They put it in a new wrapping and give it to you and you fall for it. This is what God told Israel from the jump. You don't need that. I'm your God. I'm your king. The most invisible. And I'll teach you all ways of man, all ways of the spiritual world. But once again, we fall for the okie doke and we think that we're doing different. We think that we're thinking different. We think that we're making strides in the world today by going to get educated by them, by wanting to work with them, by wanting to be under them. Haven't you realized being amongst them, being around them is no benefit to us? It's no benefit to us. Nothing is a benefit to us if we're not a benefit to ourselves. A lot of people say, yo, Furious, where's your resources? You need resources to help Israel or the people of like you get back on top. Guess what? I don't got resources. I got a phone and I got my mind. I could read and I understand. That's my resources. To show y'all where to go. Try to get to people to show them, yo, listen, these philosophies from which is the religions of the world, they're showing you a different world. They're showing you what we came from, what we understood. They're not saying follow God and not to be nothing. They're not saying follow God and try to go to heaven to be nothing. They're not saying just believe in the captors or those that tell you what to do. They're saying, yo, make as many of these books as you can, and every man should read it. Or at least enough men that can teach the world how to survive in the spiritual world of the Most High. We don't think like that, though. We just want control. We just want to be heard. That's what they say. We want to be heard. We want control. We want people to know that we are people instead of being people. Saying, you know what? We have so many people in the conscious community, right? Why we don't work together to get groceries, grocery stores, farms, our own radio stations, our own political TV channel, instead of pursuing after the norm, the music, the sports, the entertainment, comedians, actors. Why don't we go after different things? Technicians, scientists, for ourselves though. We're not doing that. Another thing I wanted to go over. I heard a brother, Star Kim, right? He says we don't need the religious books. I don't agree with that. I feel we do need the religious books to show us where we came from. We need to know history. We need to know how great we were, what kind of civilizations we had, our interaction with the divine beings. We need to know these things. We need to understand why we're material and the spiritual world is the light and invisible. We need to know that. Why is our mind so wrapped or able to be programmed by others? How do I deprogram my mind? We need to know that. So to say that we don't need them, that you knew how to drink milk from your mother, or that you knew to cry when you was hungry, that's a base form of man. That's base form of man. That's the carnal man. You want to be spiritual, don't you? How can you know what's in a man unless the man tell you? So how can you know about the spiritual world unless they tell you? Man, listen, man. A lot of people were saying, man, that I was saying my own opinions and my own thoughts. But I'm inspired by the scriptures. I'm inspired by the philosophies to teach what I put forth. How many times did you see Christ quoting from the Bible? How many times did you see Ezekiel quoting from the Bible? How many times did you see Moses quoting from the Bible? That's where we need to go. Being able to critically talk to everybody, critically think, be able to answer any question without quoting something. Because once you start quoting, that means they looking at you like you don't know nothing. You're getting everything from something else. Be that what people want to be. Be that what people want to be. Don't be the outcast. We don't have no more time for that. The time of hatred is gone now. The time of the war between the Father and us is done. That's done. It's time to strive and work together for the hope of the redemption of Israel. Israel, we're the remnant of the world that only can see God. You know, it's crazy, man. But this is the way it is. We got to stop looking to radio personalities and TV people on TV and think that they got answers, because they still trying to integrate. They still trying to be a part. We far past that now. We far past that. They've been talking about regentrification since the 80s, and they still doing it in your neighborhoods. We're past integration. Segregation don't got to be bad. Segregation is only bad when one particular party controls it all, and you want what the other has. That's what segregation is bad. But if everybody had their own part, their own section, their own piece, that's where it's good. Because listen, I'm not encroaching on you. You're not encroaching on me. I'm not going to stumble and try to tell you what you should do, and you're not going to tell me what I should do. I grow my own foods. You grow your own foods. If it comes down to we need to work together, we will work together. But we don't think like that, right? We think segregation is bad. Why? Because segregation in the world of the wicked is bad because they control everything you do. They control your food, your water, your house, everything you got, the gas, everything you got to get from them. Clothes, everything. So, yo, I'm Furious Black, man. And at the end of the day, I'm inspired by God. The stuff I speak about, y'all know. You know it. You've seen it in the scriptures. You've read the scriptures. So at the end of the day, pay attention. Be clear. Be steady. Be solid as a rock. Lean not on your own understanding. One other thing, though, before I go off, right? This is what I want to say, right? Christ told the disciples, but it's for you to know the mysteries and the secrets of heaven. Unto them is not given. The ones that live carnally. The scriptures, the New Testament, is the writings of Christ and the disciples in public. He has writings where they sat together in homes, or at night when they was alone and had conversations where they asked Christ different things. You never wondered why they never asked Christ nothing throughout the scriptures? It was just him teaching. They asked him here and there stuff when he was teaching the masses, when the Pharisees and the other people that came around from their homes, they asked him little questions like that. But you don't think that they asked him questions when throughout them 3 years, they had no question to ask him when they was just together? Look for that book. Look for that book. When you find that, then you will understand what the serpent was doing. Then you will understand why God said, oh, now man is come unto like one of us, and we should take the tree of life. Why the serpent wanted us to be like God and said we was like God, but God didn't want us to be like him. But in Hebrews, it tell you, God's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So what changed God's mind? What changed God's mind? How he changed? If he said you never change. And who is that God who was the God, the devil, that was on the mountain talking to Christ, that said he already had the kingdoms and he would give it to Christ if he bowed to him? See, but anyway, man, think about that. If you got any questions about that, ask me. But at the end of the day, man, we got to start thinking critically. We got to start being able to talk where we can relate to people, where they hear me talk, where they hear you talking, and they can relate to you talking. Instead of you always quoting something. If you're always quoting, you don't have no thoughts for yourself. So you're not giving understanding of the world. You're just giving quotes. So remember that. Then when you get them into the church, then you can sell them or show them the scriptures, and you could quote in there and show them where it comes from. Show them how it breaks down. Show them where everything is. But when you're in them streets, they don't want to hear nothing that's being quoted, especially if they don't believe in the Bible. Nobody should ever know where you got your knowledge from until they come into that world, into the world of the church, of the scriptures, of the temple, where you can teach them where you got it from. That's how it should be. I'm Furious Black. This is Furious Truth. Thank you for watching.